Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. VA terminates union contracts for most bargaining unit employees. What sort of ramifications might we see with that? What can be expected? Before we jump into it with the direct statement from the VA, I want to throw out another special thank you to T Sterling 009. Look, it's like 2 times in a couple days. Thank you so much for the super comment, super chat, T Sterling 009, just 009. Let's just go with that. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for that super comment, super chat. All right, so directly from VA News on their announcement for this, look, unions. I mean, it's kind of, there's good and bad with everything, right? So let's see what the VA's take is on this. I'd love to get your comments on this one. I'm very interested to see. Again, the VA terminates these union contracts for most bargaining unit employees. This just came out August 6th, 2025. Sharing it with you here today. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched really does help the channel, and I appreciate your support. If you haven't noticed my hat, I got a few of these, different kinds. I got the trucker hats with the mesh. I got all that stuff. I actually created some stuff. If you're so inclined, put the information in the channel and a link to the store as well. Thank you for your support with any of the merchandise stuff. I really do appreciate it. All right, so help to share the word, right? All right, so let's jump into this. The move will ensure VA stays focused on the veterans instead of spending millions of taxpayer dollars and approximately 750,000 hours per year on union activities. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs today announced the termination of collective bargaining agreements for most VA bargaining unit employees, a move that will make it easier for VA leaders to promote high-performing employees, hold poor performers accountable, and improve benefits and services to America's veterans. The announcement comes in response to President Trump's executive order that excludes certain federal agencies from labor management relation programs. In accordance with the same EO executive order, VA on April 25th stopped withholding union dues for most employees' paychecks. So for those of you that have never been in a union, the union wants their money. So they take it from you, the unionized worker, on a monthly basis or a paycheck basis. You pay into the union, and then they're supposed to represent you for higher pay, better benefits, more time off, whatever it is. So the VA stopped withholding the union dues from most employees' checks. That's an interesting move. So the VA today, and I'll tell you this, I don't know what the numbers are for the VA folks. Maybe it's $100 a month. Well, now all of a sudden you got $100 extra bucks a month. You get used to that pretty quick. So anyway, VA today notified the following unions that effective immediately, pursuant to the executive order, their contracts with the VA have been terminated for most bargaining unit employees. American Federation of Government Employees, the AFL-CIO, AFGE, National Association of Government Employees, the NAGE, National Federation of Federal Employees, the NFFE, National Nurses Organization Committee, National Nurses United, and the Service Employees International Union. Contracts covering the roughly 4,000 VA police officers, firefighters, or security guards represented by these unions will remain in place, as those occupations are exempt from the executive order. This decision is good news for veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors for several reasons. VA staff will spend more time with veterans in 2024 alone. Over 1,900 VA bargaining unit employees spent more than 750,000 hours of work on taxpayer-funded union time, including some who are paid more than $200,000 a year. With no collective bargaining obligation, those hours can now be used to serve veterans instead of union bosses. VA facilities can focus on treating veterans instead of hosting unions. More than 187,000 square feet of VA office and clinical space is currently being used by union representatives free of charge. This has cost VA millions of dollars in lost rent and expenses for union bosses, government phones, and computer equipment. Wow. Today's decision will ensure VA facilities are fully focused on helping veterans get the care and benefits they've earned, instead of serving as a free regional office for unions that oppose our efforts to improve VA. VA can manage its staff according to veterans' needs, not union demands. Labor contracts have restricted managers' ability to hire, promote, and reward those that are high performing, which all of that is very true. I'd love to get your thoughts so far. It goes on to say VA can now hold poor performers accountable and implement reforms to better serve veterans. Today's decision frees VA managers to act in the best interest of veterans rather than union bosses. Too often, unions, this is a quotation here, too often unions that represent VA employees fight against the best interests of veterans while protecting and rewarding bad workers. VA Secretary Doug Collins said, "We're making sure VA resources and employees are singularly focused on the job we were sent here to do, providing top-notch care and services to those who wore the uniform." It goes on, it has a little more information. I'll just it's not much. So it says background, and then it goes into VA employee unions have repeatedly opposed significant bipartisan VA reforms and rewarded bad employees for misconduct. Examples include AFGE, NFFE, and NNOC/NNU, different unions, opposed the Mission Act, a law that makes it easier for veterans to get health care. I didn't know that they opposed it. I thought there was a lot of good stuff in the Mission Act. So anyway, moving forward, NFFE supports rescinding the VA Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act, a law designed to protect whistleblowers and hold employees accountable for misconduct. The last bullet here, AFGE worked hand in hand with the Biden administration to reinstate more than 100 former employees fired for misconduct during the first Trump administration and pay nearly $134 million to some 1,700 former VA employees who were fired for misconduct during President Trump's first term. All right. So with that, I'd love to get your thoughts on union in the government, union time, pulling away from veteran time in this specific scenario, which we're talking about VA and Veterans Affairs, right? So you got a bunch of VA workers. If you're shifting and you're doing whatever they said, 750,000 hours in a year somewhere other than veteran stuff, they're focused on union stuff. What could have that done for us as a veteran community? Would we not have a backlog? So on and so on. So anyway, I would love to get your specific comments. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.